G'day guys, Chris Dorry here. Today I'm going to explore this question asked by MrBeast on Twitter. So the question is, would you prefer $10 million or would you prefer 10 million subscribers? So for me, the answer is I would definitely take the $10 million because ultimately I believe that would be the most profitable decision. So what would I choose to do with that $10 million? Well, I'd put 3 million into crypto. So I would be going 500,000 into Hex on Ethereum, 500,000 onto Hex on Pulse Chain. I would be going 500,000 into Pulse Chain, 500,000 into PulseX, 500,000 into Ethereum, and I'd also go with 500,000 into Internet Computer as possibly a more speculative long-term play. In terms of stocks, I would put 1 million into stocks. So I would go with 500,000 into Tesla, and I would go 250,000 into Tencent and Alibaba. So for a bit of diversification, there is some possible growth opportunities that I see, and possibly in the case of the two Chinese stocks, some value opportunities. And then I'd be looking to deploy the other 6 million remaining into property. So I would be going, as an Australian investor, 3 million into the Queensland market, 2 million into the Western Australian market. So I'd be looking, of course, around that Perth area. And then in Adelaide, I would go with 1 million, so in South Australia. So yeah, that's what I would be roughly looking at. And with property, my strategy would be I would go 20% deposits. I would be going an interest only on each of those loans, and I would have 100% offset accounts set up. So that way that I can really, maximize the opportunity to, be able to still pay down the debt over time, but really have a great deal of flexibility. And it really allows me as well to leverage into further properties if I so chose, and if those markets do go up, as I believe they will over the next roughly 5 or so years. So why would I choose for 60% of my cash to be deployed into property? Well, for me, I would be looking at property from the perspective that, well, I can buy below market value. I can get something that's cash flow positive, and it's also a market where I can actually leverage and really leverage into more and more properties. So, and I would also be using that really as a cash flow foundation where over time I would be reducing that level of debt. So probably around 2025, 2026, 2027, I would start to really reduce down that level of debt with really a view towards using that as a cash flow foundation to also allow me to, purchase more investments. So it might mean that that opens up the opportunity for me if there's some sell-offs in whether it's crypto and stocks, to really, capitalize on those times where there's really blood on the streets and there's opportunities in the market. So it really can, allow me to really pick and choose how aggressive I want to be, because with the flexibility with a 100% offset account, you can really take out with quite a bit of flexibility what you've got in there and really deploy it into the market when you choose. So that's why I really value having that property foundation to start out with, because then it really means when there are great opportunities that are really staring you in the eye, you can really go aggressive. Or in those other times, you can really just pay down that debt and really reduce that position so that you keep increasing your cash flow. So that's my personal strategy. Let me know, you guys at home, what would you do? Would you take the $10 million? If so, how would you deploy it? Or would you be looking to go the YouTube route and have the 10 million subscribers? In my last video, this was a question I asked Matt, and he actually went with the 10 million subscribers. So he's obviously got a great deal of confidence in his ability, and really wants to, spread the message and importance of investing, which I certainly can't knock. But yeah, anyway, guys, see you in the next video.